Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome to the channel, and this is my review of the Parasaur Jess. Now, she's the new Dinosaur Outlander which you can get from completing this week's Hit the Road event, and once you do, then you will get this brand new Dinosaur hero. Now, as I said, she is an Outlander and she comes with a standard perk of abilities heal you for 7.2% of max health when used, and as a commander perk, abilities heal for 21.5% of max health when used. Now, her abilities that she has is Seismic Smash, Phase Shift and Shock Tower. Now, as it stands at the moment, I can't quite decide whether she is worthy enough of a commander slot or not. But most definitely as a support slot, she will be definitely usable in pretty much any hero loadout that you have, as long as it is aimed at ability damage. Now, the reason that I can't decide at the moment if she's going to be any good as a commander is I have spent pretty much most of the morning testing this hero out and using various different hero loadouts in the process. But the problem we have is Outlanders are not geared for ability damage. Outlanders are more for your farming and getting materials. They're not aimed at doing masses of damage with abilities. Now, as we know, she's got the Seismic Smash and Shock Tower abilities, which are pretty decent abilities, but on their own they won't do anywhere near the damage that you will need them to do, especially in the 140 missions that I was testing them out in. Now, for the abilities, there are a few different heroes that you could use. You could use Kurokomura, which you get from completing Battle Breakers. If you haven't seen that, do check that video out. That should be in the hero review playlist. But you can also use Steel Wool Anthony, and you've got Azalea Clark you can use as well for ability damage. They will buff those up, and I'm going to pop some hero loadouts on the screen which I did test out as a commander hero, but they just don't do the damage that you will need them to do, especially when you are in 140 missions. Now, if you are going to use Parasaur Jess as a commander, then I would probably suggest, rather than putting in any perks for your support team that are going to buff any of the abilities that she has, is I would probably recommend that you put in some weapon damage perks instead, because as I said, even using full 130 loadout of all my heroes 130 and full set on either the Seismic Smash or the Shock Tower, having them set even with loads of different perks in there, they just do not do the damage that you will need. I mean, I tried to kill a 140 smasher with abilities alone, and it literally took me about 10 minutes to actually get that smasher killed. It's just not going to do the job. So I don't really recommend using Parasaur Jess as a commander for that very reason. Now, she does look absolutely fantastic. She is probably one of the nicest heroes that they have fetched out for a while, but she's not going to do what you require her to do just by abilities alone. So I would more recommend that you use Parasaur Jess as a support slot. And as I said earlier, you will be able to use this in any of your hero loadouts, no matter what loadout you've got, as long as it has ability damage to it. Now, everyone by now should know that I absolutely love my Commander Spitfire loadout, and that is basically my Going Commando loadout, where I've got it currently set at the moment that it got a cooldown around about 6 seconds, and I will just infinitely spam that Going Commando ability. Now, normally I would be using Survivalist as one of my support slots, but if we then change that over and put Parasaur Jess in, then you are constantly going to be getting more health back every time you use that ability. Now, the same thing could also apply to Fragment Flurry Jess, which is another really good Outlander, and this one does actually have a Teddy ability to it, and there are so many different perks you can add onto the Teddy ability that make the Teddy an absolutely awesome ability. So every time you use Teddy, you're going to be gaining health. Every time you use phase shift, you're going to be gaining health. So it's going to be better in one of those slots than if you were to use Parasaur Jess on its own. Now, another hero loadout that you could probably use Parasaur Jess in is the Dragon Scorch loadout. Now, the Dragon Scorch loadout is basically a infinite dragon slash ability, and you can do some phenomenal damage with that. So every time you are using Dragon Slash, you will be gaining back some health, and the Dragon Scorch is pretty decent, or a really decent loadout anyway. So if you've got Parasaur Jess in the support, buffing that health every time you use that Dragon Slash, then it's going to do so much more. If you do actually have the Fossil Selfie loadout set up for farming, then it would be a brilliant addition to add into that slot. Because if you are like me, I like to go into the really high missions, the highest that I can go into, in order to farm the materials that I need. And of course, with Fossil Selfie loadout, he is not set as a damage hero. He is set for nothing but farming, and that is it. So sometimes one hit from a 140 husk can, really damage your health, and using Parasaur Jess then in that loadout is going to boost your health back up again, so at least you're not going to be spending all your time being downed when you're trying to farm. So that will be another really good hero loadout to use. But my personal opinion then, Parasaur Jess, absolutely fantastic for almost any ability hero loadout, but not really going to work too well as a commander, especially in the high-end 140 missions. So that is my review. Do let me know if you have managed to find any other hero loadout using Parasaur Jess as a commander. I would be really interested to know. I've probably spent about 4 hours today now just going through so many different loadouts, and I am really disappointed that I can't find a decent enough one that is going to do the damage at high end. Yes, it's brilliant at reviving your health and getting your health back up. I mean, you can go into a 140 mission to an encampment, and you can literally just get your health pretty much down to almost dead, and then 2 or 3 phase shifts and you are full on health again. So it is really great on that, but it just prevents you from doing the actual damage that you need in order to kill the husks. And if you can't kill those husks, then there's not really any point constantly keep reviving your health, because the husks are not going anywhere. You're just going in a circle constantly all the time. So it is really disappointing that she's no good as a commander, but absolutely fantastic in any ability damage hero loadout. So I hope you do find this review useful. If you do, don't forget to hit that like down below, smash a subscribe, make sure you turn on the notification bell. If you do have the time, do check out my Twitch. I do stream quite regularly now over on Twitch. I'm also on Twitter, and if you can, it would be appreciated if you could use code RiverFox in the item store. Will help me out a great deal. But until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.